Looks like someone left his tarpaulin cloak hanging on the railing here. When the wind ruffles the cloak, you can most definitely see a white rectangle on its back.
Yes, it's probably yours. It bears the RCM insignia, and you have a habit of being careless. You could probably make the jump. You look like you've done some track and field in your day.
The wind is aggressive up here. The lieutenant looks at the enormous crane towering in the distance over the container yard. The look in his eyes is a mix of the engineer-like interest and the wonder of a 6-year-old seeing a horse for the first time. That machine is a Kvalsund 1020 HK.
Is it? Kvalsund makes a lot of heavy equipment, but this is phenomenal, even for them. But I digress. We were focusing on your cloak here. The cloak? I do think it's yours, yes. As to whether you should go for it? Well, it doesn't seem too dangerous. 2 meter stops. Whenever you're ready to do it.
The cloak looks like a bag of goodies floating in the wind. Who knows what its pockets may hide?
What are we doing? We're awfully close to breaking into the industrial harbor. They're bound to have information for us. Or it could be that we are just exploring.
He's thinking you've forgotten where you are again. A tarpaulin cloak with possible... tarpaulin cloak with possible RCM markings. The tarpaulin cloak with possible RCM markings is still caught on the railing. Nope, no, that's still too high. What were you thinking? You're not a gymnast. You're a boxer, and you've climbed way too high up there. You could have died there. Shit, 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 shit. I'm failing you.
Hey, hey! What happened? I understand. We can always come back when you are feeling better. It's just a cloak after all.
lists all the companies in the East Delta Commerce Center. This button looks new, but someone...
This button looks new. It's probably not connected yet.
Scab? I was just messing with you. No one's ever seen a cop scab. Imagine, you cops going on a strike, but then another cop comes in and says, let us cop for less money. Speaking of, what brings the RCM here, to the Wild North? Come to see the strife? You know, serious business. I'm sure the big boss will be glad to tell you.
He's a chatty guy. Wants to talk about the strike. Return once you've met the union boss and are on a better footing with the organization.
Body betrays you.
Yeah, Measurehead. His body totally betrays his degeneracy.
Are you admiring my morphophysiology? It must be frightening to stand in the shadow of this racial pinnacle. Be calm, Sandwich. You are not in danger because you are not a threat to me. What is this androgynous display of sexuality?
Merely standing up makes you sweat profusely. Your breathing is erratic. Your own heartbeat in your ears grows frantic, and you feel your blood pressure rise.
Stop it! You are embarrassing yourself in front of this woman and your pedomorphic friend. This display of weakness may appeal to older women with a stronger maternal instinct, but it is a liability here on Battlefield Martinez.
Jean-Luc, his body is betraying his degeneracy pretty hard. Maybe you can ask him to leave.
You have succumbed to our rule. You reek of it. An invisible sword of Al Ghul emerges from your throat. You cannot see it, but others can. It is making the woman in my company sick.
It's not good.
It's like a rat crawled into your stomach, got drunk and drowned.
Your mouth moves, but the one who speaks is Al Ghul. Occidental Haplogroup B4 is done giving orders around here. The influence of the ham sandwich race is waning. The ethanol fungus is deep within your nervous system, pulling the strings. You are merely its pupa now. I see no hope for you or your jerking motions. Signs of a late-stage neurodegenerative disorder. How far the Occidental haplogroup has fallen. You were once a noble and powerful race. You gave the world eugenics, electricity, and powerful weapons of war like missiles and aerostatic aircraft. You made great gains in metallurgy, race theory, and statecraft. You dominated lesser cultures, like the deformed Hemians and the inexplicably potato-obsessed Khoikos. But now your ascent to the genetic summit has halted. You are obsessed with sadness, and with you will be superseded. Isn't that right, babe?
It is, baby, yeah. You know it.
There is a button right behind him, just out of reach. It must be the one that opens the door to the harbor.
Enough with this begging. You should leave the stage of history. Bring your troops to the Seminine Islands and to Boogie Street, and we will pulverize. The walls will be lined with bottles of Al Ghul, your beloved beverage. Inside, we will store the odes to homosexuality you call art, and your microcephalic skulls. Don't be vulgar. White or not has got little to do with this. The race enigma runs much deeper than that. Mr. Clare is a man of vision and means. He has the will to confront polycultural capital, something your race naivistic. Also, to serve is noble. It takes discipline. Your petulant individualism has only contributed to your race failure. It is lax and jam individualism. You have gotten these ideas from degenerate youth culture, have you not? You have picked them up from rock and roll songs? Of course it does. You are a degenerate individualist and a rock and roll rebel. A pawn of international. I am not surprised you enjoy it so much. This has happened to many of the side products of the inevitable cultural victory of the Seminese race. What you need is to come to terms with extinction and never getting into this harbor.
He does not so much as glance at the object.
Stop showing me your pathetic cup. I have no interest in it. Racists are generally not very good examples of their race.
Welcome to Revachol. You hear him yell at a redhead woman visiting a fritter nearby.
I am not like them. I am craniometric perfection. I have taken the trouble to permanently draw a phrenologic grid on my skull and features. This should dispel correct.
Ask what kind of races there are first. Classification is core to this stuff.
Do you?
There are three categories of race. Type A, the heroic races. Type B, the servile races. And the vile CF race cauldron of pederasty. Which one do you need education on? I knew you would go straight for the vile cauldron. Everyone does. You need to first learn about...
Yeah, I mean, otherwise, it just...
Yes, it would seem nonsensical.
Those are the Simonese, the Areopagite, and the Occidentals, excluding the Maun, of course. The Maun are riddled with eczema to the point where they find it impossible to smile. They are all like a receding genetic pool has led the Maun on reprehensible street parades. In Maun cities like Stadskanal and Vredefort, wearing wooden clogs on their feet and little green tassels on their hats. The Vespertines and Messenians of Vesper and Messina, the ancient Meteorans of Meteo by the golden Pisantic Sea, the Suren of Sur-la-Clé, and even the North Königsteiners, all have type A race propensities. The other large mondial civilization, the Mesk, are too yellow and oleaginous to count as a heroic race. True, they are violent and expand overproduction of sebum. Sebum is leaking into their brains, making them listen to El Mariachi music and eat toxic minced meat-based food. Which in turn, as proven by the Maun and the Mesk, Occidental type A is in retrograde. The Simonese and the Areopagite are on the ascent. The Areopagites are sleek, long-headed. The Simonese are powerful, mesomorphic. The former is an immutable progenitor, unchanged since the Super Isola of Pericarnassus. Ancient brain, the latter is perfected and adapting. Together they form the Simeno-Areopagite or Simeopagite.
Nature was not capable of more.
Type B are the unheroic races, amorphous non-competitors of the great race. The Khoikos and the Vacholier, they are mud-colored. To an untrained eye, the Khoiko appear white and pinkish, like a ham sandwich. But look into their eyes and you will see. They are of an indistinct muddy color, and so is their skin. Unhealthy. Pinkness is a racial quality that has to be earned through centuries of advanced ballistic warfare and cultural domination that the Grad people have undergone for drinking al-Ghul and smoking the Dija. The Khoiko, the countless micronationalities of Grad, are all inexplicably obsessed with Bodart. The only thing they like more is dividing into microscopic ethnostates, like the Vacholians, halfway between type A and the racial cauldron. Too mixed to know right from wrong. You tried your degenerate.
Is it 82,000 years that we've been recording history? You have very little idea of what is happening, but that seems a little off.
The mysteries of the people of this planet are a tragedy that has played out countless times over, like a fever dream of skin, hair, and bone. Wake up, naive Chespius. The revolution came to Ravachol from Grad, in Zarathrid potato carts. It is literally an illness. The revolution is fatal familial insomnia. A hereditary pris en condition passed from the Khoico to the Occidentals. But not sexually. Probably through trade routes and potate acid. Enough of Tibet mediocrity. Tips CF are a museum of failed chimeric experiments and tragic maladaptations. They are tortured creatures waiting to be put to sleep. Lesser races like the mosquito, a grotesque mixture of a masked woman and a Seminese man. Only possible if the mother is masked and the father Seminese. The mosquito is born sterile, like a donkey. All they have left is to ride customized motor carriages with hydraulic suspension, listening to aggressive El Mariachi music to vent their impotent despair. Then there is the Simino Koiki Chimera. Are you sure you wish to know of the Simino Koiki Chimera? It is not. The Khoico, as you know, are very servile, especially when they meet the rich man. Racial scientists have toyed with the idea of crossing the Seminese with the Khoico to produce a super worker of Seminese strength and grad servility. This will never happen. The Seminese and the Khoico may have similar interbreeding problems as the mosquito. We will never know, but enough. It is cruel to entertain ourselves with the deformities of Type CF. Were there any able-bodied races you needed it? You understand nothing. To solve the great race enigma, you have to first ask yourself, what is the race enigma? You have not even worded the mystery, let alone solved it. We will see.
Access to the Union is important for our investigation, but there may be...
Am I mildly worried he might take it seriously? The lieutenant thinks. Yes, I am, he concludes. I am worried.
Lost. I cannot possibly imagine what else.
I think this racist is better than the last, but the next racist will be the really good one.
That will be the...
He will grant us 3 wishes.
Your pedomorphic friend has quick wits. A protruding.
The lieutenant doesn't.
You should keep him close. The congenital defect of farsightedness does not render him a complete invalid. He still has the youth.
Hola, wandering man. How can I help you? My friend, I respect the right to roam. The open range awaits. I don't operate in that capacity. I'm not a granter of passage. I walk right past Measurehead? Yeah, the 2.5 meter tall Seminese supremacist up there. Walk right past him. Then press the button to unlock the door. Then go past him again. And you enter the arbor through the office. Está. Don't worry, I'm sure it's not completely impossible. For example, you could best Measurehead in a feast, or you could convert to a Seminese supremacist worldview. Or, maybe it actually is completely impossible. Jean-Luc himself would say the philosophy has proven overly heroic for the scabs to convert to. Not enough intuition. Not yet, no. He's incredibly strong. Sure. Murder, huh? That sounds like a lot of hard work. You'd never see me investigating a murder. That's okay. I have no idea what I'm doing either. I don't even know what day it is. Don't tell me. It's a better day that way. Sorry. Busy surveying the situation. I'm sure you'll figure something out. You guys have wiretapping, telescopic batons, futuristic circuit bending to infiltrate harbor machinery. Maybe you could even knock that Kowalson crane over using some... Or calling in tactical air support. You guys have air support, right? I get it. Hush hush about the seat. Alright, I may have some advice for you on how to deal with Jean-Luc there, out of solidarity to the RCM. It's low and... First, don't fight him, obviously. Second, get him to share his theory by being subordinate. Admit your lack of expertise. Basically grovel. That's how I do it.
Maybe that would work. We'll have to see.
Sure thing, my friend. I can help you out.
The coin narrowly slips by your outstretched fingers and falls to the...
Oh, I'm sorry. Didn't mean to throw it like that. It's a thing we harbor folk do. Passing around was not meant as provocation or ridicule.
Lieutenant Kitsuragi picks up the coin and hands it to you.
I'm really sorry, friend. Fritz nearby. Get some Nosafed. Good stuff. Helps against heart attacks, too.
A lorry stuck in the traffic jam. This big, heavy Grad-made machine is well kept for such an old machine. A lorry stuck. The windows are clear. They've been recently washed. You can see a lorryman's cabin with personal belongings, stickers, insignia. The driver has adorned his space with a substantial collection of peculiar paraphernalia. Proclamations about honor, strength. A large metal pendant hangs from the rear view mirror. The pendant features a sun crowned with wavy rays. The back end of the cabin is a small perch to sleep, large ashtrays. There are several suns and wheels sewn into the curtains.
Racist nationalist paraphernalia. Not unusual in this part of town. This is our guy. Likely, yes. This guy's proud of who he is. Drapes it all over his machine.
lorry stuck in the traffic jam.
Bastards! We have a right to work! Hold up and stay frosty, everyone. Cops are here.
You here to fuck with us? Beat the honest worker down? We're here to fight for a cause. Stripes usually have problems with people who have causes. Good. We're fighting for a cause here. Besides, we're not that different. It helps if people see us talking, cops and strikebreakers together. Shows authorities are on our side. Builds confidence. Rights of people, rights of workers, to have gainful employment, to make a salary, and feed their families. Maybe you should ask them the questions, like, why we're not allowed to make a living here. We have families to feed, you piece of shit.
So do we, Scott.
Honest men and women with rights to work, to be useful, not toys for corporate interests.
We came here to help the harbor run smoothly in time of crisis. If union fucks don't want work, they ought to let in those who do.
I have a question. Why do all these men follow your lead?
You think they follow because I'm big and loud? No. They follow the rules of the market, the rules of the economy, because they were
given a job to do!
Not before you get in there and get your ass whooped. Learn by failure.
He might have some advice, but you got to at least try to fight Mesh head first. Return if you fail.
We were promised work. We'd be in there, working, if the bastards hadn't shut the gates. Main gate's locked. Would take heavy ordnance to bust it open. Could try to get in through the secretary's office. Door's locked. And I don't mean the scrawny mess punk either. I mean head measurer. Or whatever he is. Why don't you go arrest them instead? I'm sure they've done plenty of criminal shit. They have that.
It would be better for the neighborhood if you went home, at least for now. If you can't get in anyway.
No! They will give up eventually. Or get drunk. Leave the button unguarded. Then, we charge. Have fun. Union shits are on full strike. Don't think they're going to let you through the gates. You trying to meet their fat boss?
Right to work!
It's shameful. Cops doing nothing. You should bring backup. Open up the gates for us. Blockading gainful employment for workers is a crime.
We are not picking a side in this just yet.
Pity.
Let us!
Hola, Wandering Man. How can I help you?
The tear machine stands in the corner. A sign says, "The tear machine stands."
Oh, that's the tear machine. It's a machine for tear. You know, you find tear outside, like bottles or whatever, and put it in the machine, then it gives you money. You need a bag, I guess. We used to have some, but feel free to use it if you find a bag, though.
A small cabinet on the wall is filled with various medicine bottles, nasal sprays, and blister packs. They all bear the Saint Baptiste Pharmaceutics logo.
Yeah, there's like an ampule somewhere. Okay, don't, like, overdo it or something.
A colorful display.
Again, I'm obliged.
There he still is, looking right. There he still is, looking right through you with his white eyes. The body below is entirely dedicated to that corpse smell. Emitting it. There he still is, looking. The ammonia only makes it worse. The combination forces tears out. The second time, not so much. When the vomiting is done, your cheeks are wet with tears.
Get a hold of yourself.
The weight is reassuring, like a krenel on solid.
I've seen strong men turn themselves inside out for hours. You are facing tough odds here. Alcohol withdrawal makes it considerably harder. I've seen captains puke their guts out. It never gets easier. You never get used to the smell. Every Monday is cadaver day. Throw up, investigate. Throw up, initial autopsy. Then drive to the station. Maybe throw up on the way. I think I've lost my sense of smell. Not being hungover helps too. No. This is a two-man assignment because it needs 2 officers to complete. I need your help. You need to get your shit together. No, it's not, officer. We should go talk to the locals. Find something else to do while the wind changes. It's pretty bad right now. Give it half an hour. Get yourself together. Then come back and have another go.
Fuck does Kuno care? You found Kuno's secret door to Kuno's secret shack. It was closed for 5,000 years. How the fuck did you get in? Pig, that's the past. You and Kuno are now. Let's talk about how you opened the secret door fucking at Kuno's kingdom. Shit. Get the fuck out of here.
You can't do that, Kuno.
Pigs can't displace. Can't do that teleport shit. How did you like it in there, pig old boy? Kuno's got a lot of cool shit there, right? Oh, that? Kuno decapitates pigs. That's just a Kuno demo tape. Yeah, to the both of you, watch your ass in Kuno's town, or Kuno's gonna fuck your head off. Oh, that? Yeah, Kuno plays on snuff radio, fucks pigs, live, fucks their heads off. Kuno's a cop killer. That's where Kuno gets his daily hit of electric. Kuno
Bet you'd like to ride the lightning too, wouldn't you? You feel tired and old, but you could have that sparkle in your eyes.
It's a vitamin, pig. Don't you know anything?
You could use some.
Yeah, it's the mag. You fucking need that shit to stay on top of your game. Kuno goes through like a tube a day.
Oh, don't teach him, Kuno. He's gonna use it against you, Kuno.
You're not getting this, pig. It completely takes away the hangover. It's like you didn't do anything. Like you stayed home playing with your choo-choo.
Fuck you, pig. Don't do mag. You're gonna OD and you're gonna fucking die.
Is it? You got pretty fucked. Kuno's surprised you've still got your head after all that. Don't sweat it, drunk pig. Kuno will keep your nasty secrets. Kuno's not snitching.
He's saying you climbed up there. He probably saw you do it.
Of course you fucking can. How do you think Kuno made all the docky boys his gimps? Just gotta fly, pig. Kuno knows. Kuno and C saw you shit yourself. It's okay, pig.
That's all there is to it then. Don't be a pansy. Just jump.
Good call, Pigmeister. Don't come and talk to Kuno about the fuck do you want with it? Good call, Pigmeister. Don't come and talk. Kuno doesn't fuck.
It's clear you like the hard stuff, Brota. No. When the blood and flesh call, there is no discarding them. Speak true. Do you like the hard fascism, Brota? Many things, but it's mostly about trusting your gut. Who does your gut tell you is the source of Revishal's problems? Quit stalling, Bruta. We're talking about the weakest, worst, most insane thing. The weak link. Yes, they're Women. Women. Men of Wu. You don't like them. They're insane. Their idiocy needs to be scrubbed off this world. That's what fascism boils down to. The rest is also important. But the main thing is that Wu men need to stomach truth. You're having a stomach truth because you've said the hard things that others won't say. The good things, you've said them many times. You're going to keep your views, right? Keep your views, Brota. There's a slow, painful growl somewhere in your intestine. It is one of betrayal. There are several footprints in the mud, left by work boots. Anywhere from 6, maybe more than 12. No, 8 pairs of boots have shuffled back and forth in the mud. 1. Standard work boot, steel reinforced toes, number 46. 2. Standard work boot, steel reinforced toes, number 44. 3. Hobnailed work boot, steel reinforced toes, number 43. 4. Standard work boot, number 45 or 46. 5. Another standard work boot, steel reinforced toe. 6. An aberration, light as air, even pace, same make of boot, impossible to tell. Could also have been an adolescent. The gait is undeveloped. You're not bad. It's as if the whole world darkens. Everything else has a thin film of unimportance on it. And the tracks burn in. 7. The glowing outline of a standard work boot, number 46. But the imprints are twice as deep as the others. 8. And yet another standard work boot, number 44. There's an aberration in the pattern of the sole, however. The right sole is smoother, more worn.
How many? I was pretty off then. I counted 20. I never got the hang of it. Hyperopia. Do you see anything out of the ordinary? $200? Could it be the combined weight of 2 people, one carrying the other who's tied up? Let's say a heavily built worker carrying a similarly built, soon-to-be-dead man.
He might be right. 200 kilograms of living weight is unlikely.
Maybe it wasn't.
There is real, palpable excitement in his voice at the prospect of it not being a giant.
It could have been, but if it wasn't... From here, the boot the victim wears.
It's bad, very bad. Before you can heave, the wind changes direction again.
He appears to be wearing some kind of armored boots. I can't see any exotic prints here. Someone had to carry him. Are any of the other prints deep enough? An obese person is becoming less likely. Possibly, yes. A woman or a kid? Okay, how do you know?
He knows it's hard to discern sex from a person's gait.
Understood. Anything else? Interesting. Let's name it the Old Soul. Someone operating a workbench with a pedal? Like a joiner at the harbor. Or maybe a drummer?
He regrets it the moment he says it.
I don't know why I said that. We are not looking for a drummer. We are looking for... Perhaps it could be a driver. A driver would wear out the right shoe before the left. The accelerator is on the right. We should keep our eyes open around the traffic jam. See whether anyone strikes out as a potential suspect. Seems prudent, no? You're right. Let's keep a low profile. A week, maybe? 7 days would fit the time frame provided to us by the caller, who reported the hanging.
It is not impossible.
I pulled last week's forecast for coastal Havashol. 7 days below freezing. The day before.
Correct again. Sub-zero temperatures would preserve the tracks in a good state. The commotion here could have taken place a week ago.
What do I think? A mob of people brought something heavy to the tree. One of them was carrying the victim. They shuffled around. Then, after hoisting him up, they stood in a semicircle facing his direction. At first glance, this appears to be a lynching.
Indeed, they all stood in a row here and looked at the tree.
What do you see?
I'll die before I squeal, pig. Murder was...
The dented yellow mailbox greets you with This coin-operated viewer is facing south. The instruction manual said. This coin-operated viewer is facing southwest. Its coin slot is full of fossilized bubblegum, rendering the machine permanently inaccessible. The metal feels cold and wet under your palm. It looks unhygienic. A thick layer of graffito covers the lenses. You spell out the word Onug written on the other side, with N and C scribbled backwards. Under the graffito, a sea of blues and greys appear. Behind the water lies a coast studded with concrete and reeds. On it, a church on stilts, lanky weather-worn wooden planks, an X-shaped cross topping its tower. The church looks old and weather-worn. Around the large wooden building you see chunks of sea ice gathered on the beach, and a small tent set up on the ice. This coin-operated viewer is facing
Have you no shame? Whining about your back every time you bring out the measuring tape.
René, you're a man with a fork in a world of soup. Please, let's just try to enjoy the game.
I'm trying to, but you keep breaking my concentration. You're old. I can see that.
These manly men are playing balls. This is a ball game. Grab a ball and play it. Don't ask questions. That's the spirit. Don't even waste your breath asking about the game. They wouldn't know anyway. They're way past their prime.
See? Your munching and complaining have ruined my concentration.
Could the objective of the game be to throw the metal ball so it lands by the wooden?
Ah, mon Dieu. The pain in my back is unbearable. I can't even say...
I hope you pass out from it. You goddamn jellyfish. Men like yours...
Shush. Ignore them. They don't know what they're doing. They're old. You are letting down yourself and the team. Get in the damn game already. Doesn't matter what team. Pick a team. Any team. The blue team. You're letting them eyes on the ball, Dinky Winky.
Life? I'll be with you in a moment, officer. Let me just finish.
Can you please stop whining?
René, you are the angriest man in the world.
You are immediately surprised by the ball's lack of weight. No, God, this is right. You feel the familiar tremble of excitement and adrenaline that precedes every victory. Time as frozen. A chilly breeze ruffles your hair as you stand there, feet firmly planted. All sounds, smells, even the wind, everything fades until the cold metal ball is surprisingly smooth against your neck. It has a pattern on it, probably a sponsored ball. Yours would only be... Already your muscles are adjusting to the weight, the nervous system calibrating, until you and the ball have merged into a single entity. The man ball, an embodiment of pure motion. Some would still say you're a cop, but I guess we're beyond that now.
Merde! Bordel de merde!
It wasn't mid. The shot was at least 23 meters. Probably to...
What the hell is your problem? You vandalized our game, son! We can't play pétanque with 5 pool! Well, it damn well isn't. It's pétanque. You ruined a pétanque game. We want our pool back.
Take it easy, René. This is just a misunderstanding, isn't it, officer? No harm done.
Of course there's harm done, you orange slug. You owe us a goddamn pool. Good. Mistakes are forgiven when men at least try to right their wrongs. I believe you will try. Now, why did you approach us? Unfortunately, I don't. Unlike most of the locals, I have no qualms about assisting law enforcement. But this affair in Martinez, the Union is the law. So can you really blame them? Cop is a pejorative term. I don't have a problem with policemen. On the contrary, I admire the effort to bring order to our streets. If I knew, I would not be afraid to tell you. I simply don't. I'm an old man, not a coward. The daily business of the riffraff no longer concerns me. Yes, the terrain here provides an interesting variety to a familiar game. Yes, it was left by heavy artillery fire. Why what? Because that's what happens when communards hijack your country, execute your supreme leadership, and turn your capital into a slaughterhouse. You use heavy ordnance to clean up your home. Commies, communists, socialists, anarchists, call them what you like. They just chose the name to feel special. Senseless sentimentality. Sadly, no. It was the foreigners who brought them to their knees. We fought valiantly. Too valiantly. So valiantly we got licked. Should have fought dirty, like they did with their suicide sex cult propaganda and mad anarchist women strapped to shrapnel bombs. We didn't though, and we lacked caliber. God bless him, but the suzerain's cannons simply weren't big enough. Because this place is a damn beachhead. Had to soften the commies up first. Yes, the military coordinated amphibious landing to take back Revachol. Martinez was used as one of the 3 footholds in Revachol during Operation Deathblow in 08. The other 2 are off in Stella Maris and the Delta. This here is Blood Ground, where coalition boots first made landfall and cleaned those rabid dogs out. Most likely, we're playing pétanque on their mangled corpses.
Blood ground. You got old René going there. Like he isn't hungry enough already.
Don't get me wrong, officer. I hate those foreign dogs, but the enemy of my enemy and all that. They're the lesser evil. Damn right, son. They lit the fire of hell on the city before they stormed it. The rest of the city got cleaned up, but Martinez they keep as a monument. And now the Union Socialists are practically running the place.
Well, It's your own damn fault. You, we, the coalition, Revachol, whoever you want to blame, never finished the job. Officially, the party never surrendered. Of course they still all influence.
You don't even begin to truly understand the players of the table, let alone the specific circumstances surrounding the...
Thinking men have opinions on these things. Present one.
I'm sorry it had to be them. After 8 years of fighting those hyenas, boiling cats for food and drinking piss in the mountains, I would have preferred if the Right Honorable King Guillaume returned to Revachol, or even if that damn clan Frisel had risen from the grave and led us. Sadly, that was not the case.
This royal failure weighs heavily on him.
Instead, all that is just, holy, and beautiful in the world was wiped away, and now it's neon signs with toothpaste ads everywhere. Foreign influence peddling. This is just what the commies wanted. This was their plan all along. This is what they wanted to replace the role of the suzerain with. A true king in both blood and mind led Revachol before Frisel. He would have been better, but the damn commies drove him into exile. Damn Frisel. He was the king we couldn't protect. The Carabineers failed him, and the crown. He died in the hands of the Hyperlay, in a very public execution.
He slouches as he says that. It makes him smaller, admitting they left the king to the mob.
The suzerain is the king! Has everyone forgotten already? It's no use talking to you. You were still in Daddy's balls when it happened. When we took our last stand against the Fifth and rode the cavalry straight into gunfire. We're still waiting for a replacement.
I have really outdone myself.
Yes, that...
René, it's... Hello, officer. How might I be of assistance on this fine day? Let me think. No, officers, I'm sorry. And I really would like to assist. You are both good guys. I can see that.
Then help them, you wimp. You have plenty of shoulder with the ghost caviar in the Union.
I wish I could, but I just don't know anything. I always keep my nose clean.
Respect!
I'm not even anyone.
Of course he's holding back. His mouth is so full of Union prick he can't even speak properly.
Can I at least finish my fucking sentence before you piss on it? Is that okay, René? I'm not anyone important in the Union. I just know Evra. Everyone in Martinez knows the Clare brothers. I told this boy...
What do you know about history? You never witnessed history. Only heard about it years later, when it had already...
There he stands, proud, rigid and alone,
Let's try not to get caught in a crossfire.
lest we leave riddled with bullet holes. This animosity is ancient.
Oh, in many ways, yes. Like an honorary member. I attend meetings and parties, help with little things. Oh, yes. Not in the technical sense. I don't have a vote or a membership card. But Evrard,
Of course he's not a member. He's not a member of anything. I knew that. He's a Weservein. Turns the way the wind blows, and I hate the socialist rabble. But even siding with them is better than living your entire life on the fence. Never committing to anything. Pick a damn side already.
writing work mostly. Occasionally, he needs something written, and I happen to have a way with words. Oh, nothing official, I assure you. Just essays for the newspapers. About Martinez.
Well, he tells his little pen man exactly what to say. It's commie propaganda, plain and simple. You should be ashamed of yourself.
No, thank you. For being consummate professionals. You'll have this case wrapped up in no time.
The worn and beaten wooden planks of the bench.
We can sit on benches after we've...
Stuck in the rain in a traffic jam, man.
As you look up, you notice something about the statue. There are some odd indentations on the king's chestpiece. Even by the standards of the Philippian kings, old sumptuous Philip was known for his profligacy. Well, he blew through the whole national treasury, starting the decline of one of the penultimate century's greatest superpowers, the suzerain of Revachol. His own maladministration foreshadowed the fall of the monarchy during the anti-centennial revolution, an end to his family line and the monarchy. On the Insulindian East, stories have it that he had his bedroom converted into a treasure chamber, where he stored unfathomable wealth. There were whispers he slept on a huge pile of gold-dipped feathers, like some obese dragon, instead of a bed, like a normal person. But wait, you haven't even heard about his fabled cocaine addiction. You see, old Philippe wasn't just good at squandering the national treasury on gold and syrup. Not just any nose candy, though. We're talking royal Philippian blow, allegedly twice as potent as the stuff you find nowadays. And purple. Philippian cocaine was... That's what the revolutionaries said 150 years later. Right before they emptied out the royal mausoleum and dumped His Majesty's mortal remains in the Insulindian Bay. Beneath the cold waters of the Insulindian Bay, thrown there by the revolutionaries after they cleaned out the royal. The original was blown apart by communards, then further damaged during the landing of the coalition's airships. Some years ago, a group of liberal, artistically inclined individuals, designers mostly, thought it would be ironic To restore the statue is supposed to capture the moment it was blown apart, like an instant frozen in time, a rare butterfly trapped in amber, floating on a sea of shit. People in Martinaise tend to disagree, as do many prominent art critics and thought leaders. Philip III, the Squanderer, however, with his bronze face up in the air, doesn't seem concerned about what the hoi polloi, something with great kinetic energy, seems to have impacted the cuirass, around where the heart is. Someone shot him in the heart. Interesting.
Okay, I can't see it, but I take your word for it. Well, Martinez is riddled with bullet holes. This place saw a lot of action during the revolution, but the statue is recently renovated, so maybe a joke, target practice, or a political statement. Why not? What this shows us is guns aren't too uncommon here, and people still shoot them. Sometimes at...
The king stands high above you, surveying something. Someone shot him in the heart.
Okay, well, Martinez is riddled with bullet holes. Why not? What this shows us is guns aren't too uncommon here, and people still shoot them. Sometimes at kings.
The king stands... small, wrinkled woman does not greet you. She nods along to something on her radio. A photograph is clutched in her. It's the warmth of a winter night's fire. Maybe she could give you comfort and shelter, some cigarettes and food money. Maybe she's your... Nothing. Her smile just keeps widening. Her hair is gray like lead. Nothing. Her smile just keeps widening. Her hair is gray. No response. Wherever this woman is, your words fail to...
Wait. She's just a distracted old woman. Better to leave her. Why? I just told you why. Yes? What do you want to know? Good.
Hola, wandering man. How...
A small cabinet on the wall is filled with various medicine bottles, nasal sprays, and blister packs. They all...
I don't know. let's see. Nosafed is a nasal spray. Dramamine is a really good painkiller. I don't really know what hypnogamma is. Uh-huh. Okay, here. I hope Saint Baptiste makes you feel better or something.
A colourful display.
Again, I'm obliged to inform you that both alcohol and cigarettes damage your health. The pale aged vodka is special, I guess. It's stored in pale for a couple of years, which makes it super expensive and super strong. You know.
Don't worry your pretty little head about it. Let's concentrate on what's important.
I mean, I already said it'd hurt you. I don't know what else they do.
The tear machine stands in the corner. A sign says,
No. You need... Welcome to Frit.
what's that magazine she's reading?
I don't know. Frit? I think they think that the extra tea makes it funkier. Okay. A warehouse? I don't know. Maybe.
She scrunches up her face into an expression.
Fine. Frit doesn't have a warehouse. Just a little back room here. Okay? I don't really know anything. I mean, I know it's there, but I haven't seen it, so... Not really. No. I didn't know him at all. I don't know, really long. I don't know.
No need to worry. It's just standard procedure for us to ask around. If
Okay. Uh-huh. A warehouse?
She looks up from
Fine. Frit doesn't have a warehouse. Just a little back room here. Reality? You mean... what?
She is like a student unexpectedly called upon by a teacher. Can she answer the classroom question?
I don't really know anything. I mean, I'm 15. Yeah, that's why I'm working my arse off in Frit. So I guess, like, that's econ. I don't know. What about it? We're in Frit? As mankind, or...
What will her essay prompt be?
We're in a transition, you know, transitioning from monarchy to democracy, all that stuff. Our government? Or Do you mean something else? Sorry, I really need to finish this article. I don't know. Look at the clock.
The clock shows the time at 10:09. The hands seem to be still. It's apparent the clock doesn't work.
We're in for it as mankind, or...
What will her essay prompt be?
in a good place. I mean, science is doing great, and this radio computer thing seems to be kind of big. I don't know. We're in for it as man.
What will her...
We're in Revachol, like on the Insulindian Isola. You're welcome. When ordinary people take over the government and demand democracy. Yeah, it happened like 50 years ago or so. Sorry, I'm not very good at this. At history, I mean. Cool.
A small cabinet on the wall is filled with various medicine bottles, nasal sprays, and blister packs.
Okay, here.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone.
All right. Ready? I turn, you press start. It's
He's downplaying his... The dashboard lights up with orange glow. The rails per minute page jumps, and the engine of the complete generator comes to life with a whiny, like a leopard waking from its sleep. Yawning and roaring, the lights unfold with a little click, casting electrical light.
There you go. I'll turn them off from the remote once you're done. We just need to stand in front of the machine now.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, It's the ledger you found in the trash. A cabbage of papers hanging from the board, with the permeables drawer inside. An aluminium block runs the width of the board. The surface is interrupted by a silvery sticker. Looks like an official mark, made to be low visibility outside the...
What? Yes, halogen watermark. Any capable light with the right way. All RCM vehicles have headlights designed to reveal halogen.
This means you can read the watermarks if you just turn the lights on.
Okay.
While a bunch of sodden papers sag from the clipboard in your hand, it's a sorry sight. It's made of dark blue plastic, hard enough to... Blue. The blue heart. Don't look into it. With your hands, you four-sized pages. Arson, petty theft, you don't exactly. It takes about half an hour to piece one together. Not much has changed. It's just a racist mug.
Yes? Yes?
As you hold your ledger's clip under the headlamp, an iridescent hologram appears. A street grid and the veins of a great river. A familiar...
There she is. Revachol West.
Around the borders of the watermark are dozens, no, hundreds of micro-perforations. The rectangular watermark is overlaid with the logo of the RCM, and yet the major arteries of Revachol are all recognizable. They shimmer. A rat brazenly darts past you and disappears amongst the stopped lorries. In the distance, a child somewhere shrieks. A woman reprimands her in a voice no quieter than the child's cry.
Ah, Martinez. Let me see. Right here. No, it does not.
There are many of them, and they are divided into 3 separate rows. The first row has 18 dots. The next is the longest. It runs all... There are so many, it's hard to count. More than 150. At least the last row has 3 perforations. That's it.
Those are perforations. They represent your record as an officer of the RCM. They are your statistics, as it were. I should have guessed you'd keep a record. Officers often do. The first row represents your years of service. 18 years. Okay, not bad at all. What did you do before you volunteered? That's what it says. I might have guessed even longer based on your age. What did you do all those blissful years of your youth? Fair point. This next row, the one that wraps all the way around, is your number of closed cases. Closed is good. Wow, more than 200! It's quite a lot, even for someone who's been on the force for nearly 2 decades. Usually, clearing more than 10 cases a year puts you in the 90th percentile of all RCM officers. Right. Those are your confirmed kills. You've got precisely 3 perforations there. For an RCM officer, especially Precinct 41, which is in the Jamrock quarter, it's rather tame. I mean that in a good way. There are certain officers who treat their kills like some kind of ghoulish game. If they do happen to solve a case, it's usually by accident. But it seems as though you are, or at least were, one of the good ones. So we have that to be thankful for. Everyone has their own method of coping. Some more effective or self-destructive than others. Personally, I find it helps to keep up a few hobbies. Oh, this and that. Let's not get into it now. Why not gardening? You've already got the gloves.
It's meant in earnest. Please don't mistake it for a jab.
Yes.
It's not a problem for him to state it, however. The lieutenant nods.